Today we're going to be looking at one of the most powerful Amazon softwares that you'll use on a daily basis. If you're already selling on Amazon or you're just thinking about getting started, you need to know how to analyze products quickly and accurately. We're going to walk through exactly how I use SellerAmp to look at product profitability, popularity, and understand the competition. So, whether you're a beginner or just looking to level up your sourcing game, this software can save you time and money. With all that being said, let's get right into this 2025 SellerAmp complete tutorial. The first thing that you're going to want to do is come to the SellerAmp website, and you're going to need to sign up for your account. When you do that, you're going to have two options to choose from: the Getting Started for $19.95 a month or the Getting Serious for $27.90. The only difference that you need to pay attention to as a new seller is going to be the amount of lookups that you get per month. So if you're doing over 33 different ASINs per day, then you're gonna need to go for this unlimited one. And different ASINs meaning different sizes, different colors of the same product, they all count as a different lookup. So if you're doing over that many, you're gonna need to go for the Getting Serious one instead of the Getting Started, because it's gonna cap you out and tell you that you can't look up the next product when you hit 1,001. The other difference between these that maybe an advanced seller would need to care about is gonna be the amount of Chrome extension installs that you get per account. You get 2 here and 5 here. So if you have a VA or more than one of them, then you're probably going to need to get this Getting Serious one. But if you're that far along where you have a VA, you're most likely going to be doing more than 1,000 lookups per month anyway. They both come with a free 14-day trial, and then you get billed after that. So definitely take advantage of that. You can also do an annual plan, and it will save you $3 a month here, $4 a month here. Once you get into the swing of things and start doing this for a couple months, and it's going to be something that you continue to do, that's when you'd want to sign up for the annual plan. Don't just get the annual plan right off the bat, and then if you decide to stop selling for any reason, you're going to lose a lot of money there. Once you have your account set up and subscription paid for, you're going to come to the Google Chrome store and install the extension. Once you have the extension installed, it's going to be up in here, and then you're good to go. So when you come to any product page, it should automatically load for you. But if it doesn't, just click on the button. It will take it off if it's already there, if you want to get rid of it for any reason. And if you want to put it on because it's not there, it will pop up. So getting started in here, just right by looking at it, you're going to see the product image that matches over here. You're going to see the title of the product, which doesn't always match the title on the Amazon page. And as you can see by me hovering over it, the colors are showing in here and the size is showing in here. So this title is going to be Amazon's backend title, which is what's going to show up on your labels when you print out product labels. Doesn't matter that it doesn't match here at all. Then you got the brand, the category that it's in, you got the ratings which match over here. You've got the ASIN, the UPC of the product, and then you've got buttons under here that show the dimensions of the product. It shows just a little description here. This is to open an Amazon product page. You're not going to need this here, but it is going to be used later. Then you've got a Google button that if you press this, it's going to take the title right up here and it's going to search it into Google just by clicking it. So this is all the results that come up based off of this title. If for whatever reason the backend title here doesn't have something that you need to identify the product, like if it just said Under Armour men's shoe, then you're going to want to just copy this title up here, do the same thing that it's doing for you, it just won't be automatic. And then you can open it in the SellerAmp web app if you wanted to do that. Never use that button though. We've got different sections under here, and if for whatever reason you want to close a section, you can just click on the top of it there. But first off, it's going to show us if we're eligible to sell this product or not. Meaning, are we ungated in it? Have you provided invoices to show that you can sell the product, or is it just an automatically ungated brand that you're able to sell? So right here, this is going to say no. And then if we come over to this other product, you'll be able to see that it says yes right here. So this is what it's going to look like and what you want to see if you're trying to sell a product. Then we've got the alerts tab, which is going to show you multiple different things. This one only has one, and it's V for variations, just telling you that there's a lot of variations on this listing. That's not really an important one that you have to pay attention to. Ones that you'd want to pay attention to is maybe IP, that the brand IP complains a lot, or if it's got hazardous or a dangerous goods alert in here, then those are the types of ones, the main ones that you want to pay attention to. Then we've got the BSR here, that's the sales rank. It's just the popularity of the product compared to all the other products in this same category. We've got the estimated sales showing the estimated sales for this product every month. Now it does say estimated monthly sales shared between all variations, but sometimes you are going to see that change. Like if we click on this 9.5 here, then we're going to see that that does end up changing. Or if we just click on a different size, since that one wasn't loading, we've got 17 here. So sometimes it will change, even though it does say that it's for all variations. We've got our max cost here. This number is calculated based off some of the settings that you're going to put into this panel that we're going to go over later. But for right now, I have mine set at 25% minimum ROI. So in order to get 25% ROI on this product at this current sales price, we're going to need to find this product and be able to source it at 41.31. If you click this number, it will just populate into the cost price here. It'll make it easy for you. You don't really ever need to do that because chances are you're not going to find a product or this product at this exact price at your minimum, but it might be necessary to check some things just to see how much profit you would make at minimum, other things like that. You can also just edit these, type in your own costs whenever you need to. Same thing goes for the sales price here. Profit in dollar amount, profit percentage based off of your cost, your ROI based off of your cost price, and your break even. So if you were for whatever reason to have the price drop on this, or you just wanted to check what is the minimum price that I could sell this product for and not lose any money, that's going to be $57.80. As we can see here, based off this cost, our break-even price at 000 is $57.80. Then we've got our offer summary here. On the far left, it's going to be a total of all the sellers. Then it's going to break them down into who's an FBA seller and who's a merchant fulfilled seller, FBM. We got our ranks and prices tab down here, where it's going to show us the BSR just broken down more instead of the 3-digit number at the top. Got the buy box price of the current. Then we've got Amazon price if they had one, which they don't now. Lowest FBA seller price, lowest FBM seller price. We've got keep a BSR drops you don't need to pay attention to. Same thing as the net buy box price changes. Estimated sales, just a copy from up there. Estimated time to sale. This is in beta, so there's not going to be a value in here. But when it's finished, I assume it's just going to tell you how long you're probably going to be waiting for a sale based off maybe competition and pricing. Then you can refresh this if you want to. Don't ever have to push that button. But up here, you can change all these values to different averages. So 30-day average, the buy box was 66.50. And then you can see those numbers changed as well. 90 days, 63, 180, 66, and then lifetime. So if you wanted to check maybe past history as an average instead of looking at the Keepa chart at the bottom, you could do that. Now, when you hover over this as well, it's going to tell you in this box the minimum and the maximum that make up that average, just in case you wanted to check and make sure that maybe you would be good at those prices also if it did drop back down to there or just as an average. Underneath there, we've got the alerts. So this is telling us in the eligibility related back up to the no that we would need to ungate this product. So if you click this, it will bring you to the ungating page in your Seller Central account for you to be able to submit invoices if you wanted to unlock this brand. Then it's just going to tell us the other possible alerts in here that I mentioned some of before, IP alert, hazmat, dangerous goods, and just confirm why they're not alerts or just that they're not in general. Under here is basically a smaller, less detailed version of the Keepa charts that are already underneath your product, because you can't see the individual FBA offers as orange triangles. You see them as a line, and you can't really do anything like zooming in into selected periods. You can change it and zoom it in by these buttons down here saying show the month, show 3 months, a year, all time if you wanted to. This is mainly going to be used when you're doing retail arbitrage. If you're scanning products in a store and you don't have access to the keep a chart underneath the product page that we already have on the computer, it comes in handy in that situation, but you don't really need it here. We've got the broken down even more version of the offers that we saw at the top. At the top, it just said that there was 1 FBA and 2 FBMs, but here we can see their stock counts, we can see their prices, we can see what our profit would be for those prices based off the cost that we put into the cost price box and the ROI respective to that profit number. The only thing that you really need to know about this section more than that information is that these stock counts are not always reliable. Because if I was to go into my Amazon inventory, I can set maximum order quantities for individual products and say a customer can only order 3 of something at one time in one purchase. If I was to do that on all my products, my stock count that showed up here would always say 3 on everything. No matter if I had 20, 50, 100. Even if I had 4, it would only show 3 in here. So this is not really something to base a buying decision off of. If you see that they only have 2 units here and you think, oh, they're going to sell out, I can dominate this FBI buy box. You don't know that for sure. Under here is going to be a profit calculator, which is a more detailed breakdown of what we saw up top. Also, because we've got the same boxes, cost price, sale price here. We've got fulfillment type. We've got our profit, ROI, maximum quantities, and then we can see the total fees, profit margin, break-even sale price again, Amazon estimated payout. So if I was to put this back up to $69.95, I could type it in there, or if you want to just compare other prices, you can see that little green plus come up and you just click on those and it will bring you to those different costs. And now that I've hovered over this, this is another thing that you need to know. This $74.97 is a combination of the 70.2 cents sale price plus their merchant fulfilled shipping cost to customers of $4.95. So that's why it makes this up. If you're competing with merchant fulfilled people, you wouldn't price your product at $70. You would price it at $74.97 or $75 because they're going to be charging their customers that extra cost. That's why it's a whole number here. And you can see this guy has an even lower sale price of 2 cents only, but his shipping cost makes him have a higher offer. So if we're looking back at this, we can expand these and see our sale price, cost price, minus total fees. Pretty self-explanatory. Same thing as maximum cost based off of minimum ROI and minimum profit that we have set into our settings. But here is what you might want to take a look at to learn kind of an idea of everything as you're a new seller is the total fees. And you'll see in here, we've got our referral fee, which is the fee that Amazon is charging us by basically providing the customer. It's saying that we've given you the lead on this product to be able to fulfill your order, so we're going to charge you this. And the percentages are most of the time always the same throughout categories. Sometimes it can be different based off of size and weight of products, if they're large items or something like that. But most of the time, you're going to run into the same fees if you're selling the same types of products. Then we have the fulfillment FBA fee, which is the fee that they're charging us to basically reimburse themselves for paying for the customer's shipping. Under here, we've got our inbound shipping estimated cost that we have in our settings times the weight of this product. And then everything else is zeros because they don't charge us anything else. But if you are doing merchant fulfilled products, you're not going to have these same fees here. As you can see, the fulfillment type switch is set to FBA. If you're doing merchant fulfilled products, you're going to want to click this switch to be able to turn it off. And we can see in here that there is an FBM cost that you can edit to be able to change your values of your shipping. And depending on whatever you get charged, maybe on an average, or if you've sold certain products before, then you'd want to change this value to be what you normally pay for shipping, which maybe it's $4, maybe it's $3. And you can see that the numbers did change in there as I put those different numbers in. So we need to take that into account because the FBA fulfillment fee got wiped out. It was $6 something. Now it's on our own shipping cost here. And that's going to make a big difference on FBM products if they're profitable or not. Then under here, we can see that we've got a notes and tags section where if you wanted to maybe add a note for the next time you come back to this product, maybe you have to save it for later or something, then you're going to want to add a note here. You can save it and then you can close this out if you don't actually want to add a note to it. That's all you can do with that section, but underneath that is going to be the Google Sheets section. So going back to the idea of wanting to save a product for later, if you maybe come across this product, it's not profitable yet, it's very close, and you need to wait for a sale or say gift cards percentages to go up so that way you save more money on your purchase, you can easily save a product to a Google Sheet based off some of the criteria that you set in the SellerAmp settings of what information you want to go into that Google Sheet. And if you have maybe a VA and you're checking their products, this is a very easy way for them to export different products if you need to look at them at a different time, so that way they don't have to do everything manually. So if I was to just click on this recheck button and then it's going to spin and add it to it, the recheck Google Sheet is going to have all of the information that I needed: time, date, product name, ASIN, category, brand, the Amazon link to that product. Then it's got our cost price, sale price, a bunch of different information in here that you would obviously set up headers to this so you know what you're looking at and it's not just a bunch of random numbers, but it's just to show you how this process works here. Underneath that, we've got our ROI calculator, just showing us different ROIs to profits based off of our current sale price and cost price. Underneath here is going to be something that you don't necessarily need, and I usually have this off, but I just wanted to keep it in here to be able to show you guys in case maybe you're doing RA or you wanted something like this instead of the tab in Keepa. But it's basically just a different version of the buy box analysis or buy box statistics in Keepa, where you can see for the last 30 days who had the buy box last one, how much percent they won the buy box and their average price for it based off 30, 90, 180 days or the lifetime. And you can tell it what you want to see. If you want to see their stock, if you want to see the type of fulfillment that they do, but it's not really that necessary if you're looking at products on your laptop or your computer. Under here is going to be the BQool section, which is your repricer that you should be using. If you have sold a product before, then you're gonna see in here the option to change your minimum and maximum price and the rule of how it's repricing your products. So that way, if maybe you're going through your inventory and you're seeing a lot of alerts for prices saying they're too low or not low enough, you're not the lowest offer, you don't have the buy box, something like that, and you can come in here and easily change that instead of going and copying the ACE and searching it in their software and then going through it longer that way. You can easily do it right through here. That's going to be it for the tabs that I have on here. So moving on from there, if say for whatever reason you wanted to move this box around, you don't like it where I have it, you can put it on the full left-hand side of the screen. You can put it on the right-hand side of the screen if you wanted to, like that. You could put it on the middle of the product page if you wanted to see maybe the buy box on the right-hand side instead of scrolling down, or you could keep it where I keep it over here. I just like this spot the best because then I can see the price under here as well, and I can still see all the sizes if I wanted to see the prices across different sizes. And then the next part is going to be the home button. So if you click this, it's going to take this whole page away and basically just let you do a search inside of SellerAmp for any ASIN or any product title that you wanted to look at. The next one is going to be your history. So if you click on this, it's going to show you every product that you've looked up from most recent to the bottom of the list. And that is for mainly if you maybe close out a tab or something, or you forget a product that you looked at maybe the next day, you didn't save it, you want to find it again, and you can't find it in your regular web browser history. That's an easy way to do that. This one's the settings that we're going to go through also, but this last button is just if you needed to contact customer support. It'll open up an email automatically for you to be able to send to them. So going through the settings here, you're gonna have different profiles. This is just a default name that they've named it. If you needed to add different profiles for whatever reason, you can go ahead and do that here. The general settings, this is all just basic stuff: home marketplace, merchant token, inbound shipping, cost per pound on average. For new sellers, probably 50 cents to 70 cents is a safe bet for you. Once you get to doing larger shipments, you'll be able to average it out more and maybe bring it down a little bit based off of the actual facts that you have on what you've been charged. Inbound placement, then these you should have off because you're not usually going to have anything in storage because you're not buying months of units in advance. And then this is for the European marketplace, which we're not selling on. Storage time, 0, again, relates back to the storage fees. You're not going to need that. Local fulfillment, and then European fulfillment. This has to be selected, one of them. That was just a default version. You don't need to mess with this at all. Same thing with the VAT scheme. This is for European tax. Unless you're selling in the European marketplace, you don't ever need that. And you've got your buying criteria. So this is going to make those boxes turn red that we saw in the first section, depending on the values that you put in here. You don't need a minimum BSR. Maximum safe bet is usually 2. There is gonna be some bad products that are less than 2%, but most of the time a good rule of thumb is anything over 2 is definitely going to be bad. Your minimum profit, that's up to your own preference, depending on how much you want to make every product. It's not guaranteeing that you're going to make $4. It's just saying, if I put in a buy cost and the profit is $3, everything's gonna turn red, and then I'm gonna know, just ignore that product, move on to the next possible supplier, or if there is none left, then just move on to the next product. Same thing goes for minimum ROI. This is going to affect the break-even price, the maximum price that you could buy, and different values in there also. Your prep fee, if you have one, per unit. Your miscellaneous fee, maybe this is for bags or boxes and tape and all that combined. If you do all that math, I don't bother doing that because it's a lot of calculations to do, and sometimes prices change, stuff like that. You just don't want to have to be adding this in every maybe week or so. Then you've got a miscellaneous fee. If you want to maybe put your sales tax in here, if you live in a state and you're doing your own prep that has sales tax, you could put this in here, so that way you could be looking at products and not having to calculate sales tax right away. That might be helpful. Ranks and prices time frame, default values, current 90-day for the buy box, FBM cost. If you had a good idea of your average shipping cost to customers, you throw that in here, so that way you don't have to enter it in for every product. And then this is that ROI box down at the bottom of all of our options in the first page, just showing what the default value is going to be. You got your top offers on search results, keep on search results, geolocation. This is for if you're doing scans through the app. You don't need dark mode. Just depends on if you want to look at a white box or not. Then you've got the quick info. So you're going to want to have all of this stuff on, because on default, when you install this extension, you're not going to have the break-even price here. Everything else should be turned on, but if not, just make sure you have all this stuff on, because it's definitely helpful information, as we saw. And then the charts, you want to turn this stuff on depending on your preferences. I like to have all of them on, and then the charts time span all time just as an option. Then we've got our panels that we had on. So if you want to copy my layout, if you like the way that it was, then you can do that here and just pause the video here. I use all of these ones as we saw, and then the only one that you don't really need that I was saying I only turn on for the video is the buy box analysis, so you could turn that one off. Now, one of the main things that we use SellerAmp for, besides just looking at numbers, is going to be a way to source products. So if we go down in here to the offers tab, we're going to be able to open up these guys' storefronts. So if you find a good product Like if you could sell this product at a profitable price, you might want to check out their stores as well, because if they have a good product that you found that you can also sell, then they're usually bound to have some more good products that you'd also want to sell. So you would just do that by opening up their store here, and what you're gonna see is a list of all of their products and their brands, their top categories here. And then you've got their store details over here. You can see how many ASINs they have, 27,000. So they're obviously a very big seller here. If you wanted to sort by brands, you could say, I want to sell only these Batman products, or take a look at them. Click on Batman, and it's going to filter out all of the other products besides the Batman brand here. Then if you wanted to see Under Armour, you do the same thing. And the same thing goes for these categories. If you wanted to see only clothing, shoes, and jewelry, you'd click on this one, sports and outdoors here. Books, automotive, electronics, same thing goes for those. So what we're looking for here is going to be the BSR to make sure that it's a good selling product. The estimated sales per month also confirms that. Then we've got the max cost based off of this price here. So if you wanted to match the buy box, then you would have to find this product for $8.08 or less. The store stock, don't need to worry about, because like I said, people can manipulate that to not show their whole store stock. And we've also got our offers in here. So if you had criteria for yourself that I don't want to be on a listing with over 30 different sellers on it because it's too much competition in the beginning, then if this said 30, you would just scroll past and ignore that product. But here's where the other buttons come into play too. You could open this in a new window if you wanted to. You don't ever really need to use this, but it's going to break down everything that we saw in the panel at the beginning of the video into a whole web page here. The next one is going to be the search for the product on Google page, which we also saw already, but this is going to be a lot quicker doing it through here rather than searching different products on Amazon.com, trying to go through them that way. It's just a lot faster to scroll through this whole list here. You can also search for the product on Google Shopping if you wanted to, but I recommend just using this top row here, going to the end of this top row, because this is the most accurate and relevant results most of the time for the product that you're searching for. Then we've got the Amazon product page here that you could open and find this page here if you wanted to enter in your own cost prices and do some more product research and analysis that way. As you go through this, you're going to see a load more page here, because this is obviously not the end of his Under Armour listings if he's got 14,000 different products in that brand. So you just click on load more and you'll see some more in here. If you ever click this load more button a couple times and nothing loads, then you've hit the end of the list. It's not an error with SellerAmp. It just won't disappear this box. It will just keep spinning. As long as you click it and something comes up, you've got more to see in this store here. The only other thing that is important to know about SellerAmp is if you're on, say, a retailer's website or just any website besides Amazon, and you want to see if that product is on Amazon, you can highlight the text of the title of the product, right click it, and you'll see this line here, which comes with having the extension installed. And if I was to click this, it's going to search SellerAmp with the title of this product and pull up different product pages based off of that title. And we can see here is that exact image. We have the same BSR, and then we can open the Amazon product page and we'll see it's the exact same product page there. So that's going to help a lot if you're doing manual sourcing, or maybe you just come across something while you're shopping for yourself and you want to check if it's on Amazon and maybe you could sell it. Any reason at all, just highlight the title of something and search it on SellerAmp. You could also do it on, say, we'll go for one of these other products that is not the same shoe in here, this one here. So we've got a different style shoe here, and we're going to just highlight this title. It might not come up right away because Under Armour is not in the title, but we can just search this here. And actually it did pull it up. So this is the Under Armour men's charged edge sneaker. And then we've got the charged commit right there. So we can open this Amazon product page, and more than likely we will have that product, but it looks like maybe that color is not on the page. Nope, that is the one. So this is the exact product there. So in the results, it might not show you the picture because obviously it doesn't know what colorway you're looking at when you're doing the search, but this would be a really easy way to figure that kind of stuff out. So guys, make sure you take advantage of that 2-week free trial of SellerAmp. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Also, make sure you check out the link in my bio if you want to get started selling on Amazon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.